Okay, good afternoon. My name is EWhitefield, and I am doing the video for my CIT326 week 4 scenario assignment, backup and recovery. So let's just dive right in. First question is, use the data dictionary to write a query to find out when the last time all of your databases were backed up. In the database that we were given as a part of the hint or the note was to use msdb.dbo.backupset. So using that, I did a select star for that database just to see what fields there were, and I found that there were these particular columns that to me were interesting. So it was for backup set, database or set ID, database name, username, the backup finish date, because I wanted to know when the last time that it was backed up. The type of backup, and I just did backup type. I did that as an alias just to make it a little bit clearer in the backup size. And then I sorted the overall query first by the database name in ascending order, alphabetical order, and then the finish date in reverse order because I wanted to see the last backups first. So when we go ahead and we run this, we can see that these were the databases that were last backed up and when they were backed up. So we can see the bowling league, the last time it was backed up was yesterday. We can see that entertainment was also yesterday, recipes yesterday. So we can see that all of these were done yesterday, and that the backup types, if we reference the Microsoft doc for that particular database up here for the DBO backup set, we can see that this type was a log backup and the D is a database or a full database backup. And then we can see how much room each of the backups took. Now I could have converted this to gigabytes or megabytes, but just for right now I did not. And you can see worldwide importers was huge, but the last time it was backed up was in 2016. All right, so that's question number 1. Question number 2, make new backups for all of your user databases. Now there were a couple of ways that this could be done. This is the way that you can do it using scripting, and it will do the same thing as the method that I'm about to show you. And you can see that I did do this yesterday. If you look, you can see I did it at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon for most of the databases. Some of them were a little later. But the way to do it is really just to go over, the easiest way to do it is in the GUI, and you go over to where it says bowling test, for instance, and you right click on that. You're going to go to tasks, and you're going to go to backup. And here's the basic information. It fills it out for you. Now, if you want, you can change some of the things, like for instance, you can change the backup type from full to differential or just transaction log. You can tell it where to go. You know, do I want to go to disk? Do I want it to go to a website? I can also look at backup options, and I can add a description to this backup. I can change the backup compression. I can say I wanted the backup to expire, you know, all sorts of things that I can do. But for right now, all we really want to do is just click on OK. And this shows us that the backup was done successfully. And then, of course, if I go back up here and I rerun when things last backup, I can go to the sample test database. Or not sample test, it was bowling test. I can go to the bowling test database and I can see that I just backed that up just now. Okay. And again, you can do that for all of these, but I can show you right here in my report that I did them all yesterday. All right, question 3. You decide to make copies of the bowling database for test purposes. So to do that, you can go to the backup that you made, and you can bring it back as a restore, but you can change the name. Now I can do that with this particular script where I look at the backup log. I find the backup log for the, if I can scroll over there, the bowling league example log. And I can tell it that I want to do that with that particular backup. And I do all of that by moving it to a new backup, which is bowling test. Now, another way to do this, and an easier way to do this, is simply to go to the bowling league example, go to tasks, go to restore. Actually, let's just do it as it's a database. So you go to the databases, restore database. I can then select from device. I can go to the folder in which I have my backups, which is right here. I can select the backup that I want to use. Click on OK. And then one thing I need to make sure that I do is that I take and change this to the new name, which in the example is bowling test. And then I want to double check and make sure it's going to go to the right place. So I can go in here to files and just verify that it's not going to overwrite the bowling league example database. And it's going to do that as a test. And if there's going to be an issue with it, I can, I've already got a backup of that name. I can go ahead and click on overwrite with replace, and that will go ahead and update the restore from my backup and put it into the file name that I already had. Now, since I've already done this, I'm not going to do it right now because you can see I already have a bowling test file right here, database right here. All right. For the second half of question 3, use the videos to restore it. So use the videos this week to log into the class server in the cloud and restore it there also. So one way that I could, or the way that we could do that is by going to here. We're going to go to VM instances and close that so I can show you how to do it again. Go here to where it says MS SQL wait for our class, and I can go over here to the connect column. I can click on SSH. Do I want to initiate a connection? Yes, I do. And we wait while it does that. All right. Then the next thing that we can do, if you follow the instructions, we log into the Cloud Console. Click now that we have the window open, we're going to go to step 3. We're going to click on the gear icon. So up here in the top corner, we're going to click on the gear icon and we're going to select Upload File. We're going to go to my backup database, backup folder. And we are going to select, oh, actually, I forgot a step. I have to go to the backup directory first. And I have to make a copy. Now, I've already made a copy here, but I need to make a copy of the database that we want. So I have to come up here and go to copy, which is going to give me a second copy of that database. I can go to new, or to paste, and there's my copy. Then I just have to rename this. And now I've already done it here, so Whitefield Bowling Development would be what I would rename it to. Then I would go and log into the console. And this is where we would then come in here, select the database that we want, and then open it. And it would eventually finish the file transfer And to verify that it's there, we just do an ls command, and you can see right here, Whitefield bowling.development did in fact get uploaded to the server. Now, to go ahead and make the actual database show up, what we need to do is to put it into the right folder. We got to put it into the class databases folder. What we need to do is we need to go to our command prompt back in that window, and we need to paste in this command right here, which would then move it to the home directory of the class SQL server. So we can assume I did that, and I'll show you how I did that. Let me erase this line just so it's not there anymore. So to do that, I'm going to minimize my current connection with my database. I'm going to go to the connect icon up here. I am going to select the IP address. Now, where I got this is going back to our virtual machine and looking at the server. I can get that information right here where it says external IP address, and I can copy that to the clipboard. I come back here and I log in with the information that Brother Wait gave us in Teams, and I click on Connect. And that is going to open up an instance over here. It's going to show a new connection to that server. If I go to databases, what I could do is I could then go up here and I could go restore database. I can go to device. I can go to add. And I would want to go up to the home directory. And I would look for my file right here. Click on OK. And of course, we want to make sure that it's named after me instead of the generic. So we do Whitefield bowling _ development. Go again to files. Now we don't want to put them in this one, so we want to relocate them to the main data file. So we're going to relocate those files to that folder. And then that should make sure that this all goes to the new folder and it's using the MDF and the LDF file for Whitefield bowling development. Once we've done that, we can click on OK. I'm not going to do that since it's already there. You can see we scroll way down here now because everybody's getting their homework done. We can see that that database did in fact get loaded up. And we can come down here. We can pick a table and just make sure that there's data there. We can run a report off of it. And you can see that we have all 32 people there. All right. That brings us to question number 4. So question number 4, hold on, I'm going to have to do this as another video. So I will see you in part 2.